What God has for me, it is for me. What God has for me, it is for me. I know without a doubt that He will bring me out. What God has for me, it is for me. 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 I know without a doubt that He will bring me out. What God has for me, it is for me. What God has for you, it is for you. What God has for you, it is for you. I know without a doubt that He will bring you out. What God has for you, it is for you. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time you have allowed us to come together one more time. That song was a special request from someone who remains anonymous because that's how they wanted it. But I hope you enjoyed it. That one was for you, for it is definitely a true song. It is a true statement. What God has for me, what God has for you, it is for me and it is for you. I thank God for each and every one of you that are joining me today. I want you all to know something. For the last 24 hours, I have been in a conversation with God, and there were two words that just kept popping out, just no matter what else I was trying to think of, what else I was trying to do. These two words just kept popping out. And the first word is excuses, and the second word is execution. Now, for those of you that are new here, I am The Educated Natural. Welcome to my channel. I would invite you to look around and hopefully you will see something that would make you want to stick around a little bit longer and become a part of the family here by hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. You are welcome once, you're welcome twice, you are welcomed here on the Educated Natural channel. For my OGs, for all of my mods, for everyone that's used to rolling around these parts here, thank you for being here. Welcome back. Now listen, go on and put a one in the chat. We're going to start this thing off by being honest with yourself first, all right? Because God already knows. Be honest with yourself. Are excuses a part of your journey? Just be honest. I'll put the first one right here. I have made excuses when I truly should have been executing on quite a few things. But before I go into this thing, because it gets deep and it runs deep, y'all, so you may feel like I'm picking at you or poking you with something, but trust me, I got poked first, okay? And I got beat and bruised first because of this. So I'm just gonna come on here and we're gonna have a realistic conversation. And if time allows, I'm gonna drop the link and y'all can come here and just be honest with yourself, okay? Because I have had it said and heard that a lot of us, myself included, make more excuses than we could ever imagine. And so today we are shining some light on these excuses, because some of you may not understand this or even know this, but your excuses could be the reason why you're not further along in your journey as you should be. But before we get into this, let me say hello to you wonderful people here in the chat. Hey, Dolores, welcome in. It is great to see you. Psalm 146, home and garden. God is good. Good God's glorious afternoon to you as well. It is always a pleasure to see you. Miss Deborah Garrett, welcome in. Many blessings to you. Many hugs. I'm so glad to see you here. Unbiased LLC is in the building. Welcome in, sis. Welcome in. Who else do we have? We're going on down. Laura's Garden and more. Thank you for being here. Welcome in. Now, if you notice, things are a little bit different. I have some comments on the screen, and it kind of keeps me from having to go through and click a comment. They're just kind of rolling in. So we're trying to see how that looks and how it goes. And so you guys give me your opinion on it, what you think, and I'll tell you exactly what I'm using to be able to do the things you all are seeing today. Going on down the chat, Miss Joyce 1, thank you for being here. It is great to see you. It is always a pleasure to see all of my members here, no matter which tier you are on. It is definitely a blessing to have you all here. What a blessing it is. Thank you to all of my mods. Thank you for being here as well. So going on down, Craftable Things. Hey, I see you. Great to see you, Patrice. Great to see you. Blessings to you. Wellness with Frugal Mama is here. Welcome in. Great to see you as well. Going on down, let's see. Tampa's Creek Homestead and more is here. Thank you. Okay, Ambaya says she likes the comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Trying something a little different. We got some things happening over here. Before I get into today's conversation, my husband and I have kind of been, going back and forth on some things that he thinks that I should do to make my live streams better and the flow of, my workflow better. And so I'm trying to say, okay, Kim, maybe he's right on certain things. So I'm kind of taking a step back saying, okay, let me do more. Because I don't know about you all, but there are just times, especially this year, it seems like God has been speaking to me. And I'm not sure if he's been speaking this to you, but he is definitely not only speaking, but making moves to where I just cannot deny it. And what I'm referring to is new beginnings. I've heard that ever since the close of last year, and I keep hearing new beginnings. And so I'm like, okay, Lord, what are you trying to get me to understand with this? And so what I'm learning is we get so comfortable, we get so complacent with the things that we already have. You start thinking about the investment that you made into that thing. I don't care what it is. Okay, if it's a computer, a car, a microphone, or whatever. You just know that you have invested into that thing, and you kind of live by that old quote of, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So that's me. That's where I have been. And no shame in my game. Some things I have had for 10 plus years. All right. No shame in my game. It is just what it is, because it's not broke and I didn't see a need to fix it. However, technology happens to be one of those things that's constantly changing. And so what I've had to come to terms with, and I'm going to turn this volume down, it's kind of coming back at me a little bit. I've had to come to terms with the fact that just maybe I need to upgrade. I need to upgrade a few things. And because there's like Frugal Mama, I'm Frugal 10, okay? Because certain things with today's prices, today's price is not yesterday's price, it gives me great pause to upgrade certain things. So this past week, my husband happens to walk in my office, and thank y'all for all the ones. Okay, I'm not alone. My husband happened to walk into my office and looked around and started touching stuff. And he says, you need to replace that, do this, do that. I think this would look a lot better on your desk, blah, 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 right? So everything that he pointed out was pretty much things that I've had for quite a while, but they still work. So he was like, just listen to me, trust me, it's gonna just make things better. Now, I don't know how many of you are like me. Someone could come with great advice, but you being set in your old ways, having your old plans, and because you've become so complacent, you rather just work around the stuff instead of replacing it or try to tinker with it and make it do what you want it to do, even though there are other things out there that could do better. You just rather say, I don't want to be bothered with the cost of replacing it. It's still working. Let's just roll with it. Well, my husband is not so easily persuaded like that. So when he sets in his mind that I want my wife or the people around me to be better, to do better, to look better, I'm going to keep putting that pressure on them until they come into agreements with this better that I'm trying to do for them, right? Now, as he's going through this, hey, gardening is great. Welcome in, G Mama. Great to see you. Welcome in. And so, hey, God's desire for me. Welcome in. And so, this makes it so much easier to see now. Okay. So today, right before I went live, one of the things that he wanted me to upgrade was my lights. Now, I'm one of those people that has a ton of lights because there was a time when I was in radio, when I had my own little studio, I had all this stuff. So I had all these huge lights and all this stuff. But as we have moved to different locations, it seems like the rooms in these houses got smaller and smaller. So I have a lot of large lights. And I could not fit them in here, especially with one side of this room being my office space and then the other side of the room being my daughter's classroom. I just couldn't get all my stuff right in here, okay? So I had to make some adjustments. In doing so, I just put up any kind of little clip light I could find that I had in my stash, whatever. I just put it on the desk, clipped it to the desk, and was like, okay, I can see myself. Y'all can see me. Let's just roll with it. Didn't really care about the aesthetics of it. It was just like, hey, it's working. Let's just go. Saves me some dollars, okay? Well, just a few minutes ago, my husband upgraded my lights because he just did not like the way these lights were looking. And he was like, just no. And so I yielded and I said, okay, fine. You want to upgrade the lights? Fine. So right before I went live, I hooked up one of the lights and I got to say, this is a nice light. This is the only one he got me two. I got one for each side. This is a nice light. Okay. So sometimes upgrading is nice, which brings me to today's topic, excuses. I had every excuse why I did not need new lights. I had every excuse as to why what I was doing was working. Why are we bothering stuff? However, my husband wasn't hearing that because he's an aesthetics guy. Literally everything has to look a certain way, nice and neat. He does not play about clutter, none of that. So me, I don't mind functioning in the chaos. It's fine by me because sometimes when you clean up and you move stuff, you don't even know where you put it. So I'm like, I'm cool. He does not work that way. So I will have to thank him for the light suggestion. It looks amazing. Now, the next thing I was making, I'm going to talk about me. The next thing I've been making excuses about are the live streaming platform. Now, if you was here last week, child, it was a whole mess. Let's not even try to sugarcoat it. It was a whole mess. It was sputtering. Hey, Serena, welcome in. It was a whole mess. Y'all ain't got to tell me, hey, Tay, welcome in. Y'all ain't got to tell me, whatever, Tay. Hey, Anne, welcome in. Hey, Rambo, welcome in. Y'all ain't got to tell me. I know, it was a whole mess. I went back and looked at last week's live stream and I was like, oh, my goodness. And I don't know how many of you ever deal with, let's just be real, today we taking off band-aids, women, we taking off our brassieres and we throwing them to the side. We just gonna be honest, we gonna be free, we gonna be real, okay? I was like, I'm going to try to figure out what I can do to fix this. So I thought, okay, at first it was my internet. So I'm calling the internet provider. They sending people up here. Exactly. Tell them about it. I'm sending, right, what's this? That's new. Something just popped up. What was that? I can't see it. I cannot see that. Why is it white? Okay, anyway. So I'm trying to figure out, ways that I could just work around this issue. So I'm calling the internet provider in, and they came and they replaced the wires and different things and pretty much upgraded our wiring for the internet and, on the outside of the house and the inside of the house, things like that. Well, they techie at that's way above my pay grade, but they did what they had to do. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. We should be going good now. So I did a few behind the scene lives. They were private lives. You never see them. And I kept saying, now, wait a minute. Why is this still not looking right? So I reached out to a few techie people. That's why it pays to have some people on your line in your old school Rolodex to where you can say they are smarter than me in this area. I need some help. So I reached out and said, listen, I done had my internet fixed. Something's still not right. So now, mind you, whole time I'm making excuses as to what the problem is. Because now I'm thinking, okay, well, it's not the internet. It must be the platform. So I start platform hopping because I'm thinking it's got to be something. It's got to be something else. Because it's certainly not me. It's got to be something else. So I started reaching out to techie people in the community. I started reaching out to techie people outside the community, y'all. And none of us could figure out what the problem is. So then I said, okay, well, let me go to, and it was suggested that maybe it's because you were using free versions of Restream. That was the last program that I used. That's why it was acting up. And I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense, because when I first brought Restream to my channel, I was telling you guys about it after the whole StreamYard debacle. It worked fine. So I'm thinking, no, it couldn't be because of the free version. Because that would just be ridiculous. Like, if people are going to use your free version of something, you want it to work really well to make people want to upgrade. Like, if it's broken on free, why would I upgrade to a paid version? If it's broken on the free, I'm not doing that. That doesn't make me feel like, okay, maybe I just need to pay you, because how do I know you're really going to fix it? So I said, fine. I previously used EVMux, which I was paying for. It still went haywire. So I'm thinking, okay, so that whole logic of paid versus free meaning it's going to be janky, didn't make sense, because I was paying for this and it's still janky. So I said, okay, I got to get to the bottom of this, because if I can't get to the bottom of this, either one or two things are going to happen. I'm going to have to stop live streaming and I'm going to turn this channel into a pre-recorded video channel, and I'm just not even going to worry about this stuff anymore. Or I'm literally going to have to look at my actual equipment. Maybe, unbeknownst to me, it's an equipment thing. Because mind you, all the way up through this, I'm making every excuse as to why I don't need to upgrade anything. It's been working before. It should be working now. I don't know what's wrong, but something's wrong. And it's definitely not my equipment. Can't be it, right? So I'm doing all these private lives, unlisted lives, just trying to figure out. Well, lo and behold, one day I get up and I said, you know what? I'm going to narrow it down even further. Let's just face the facts. Something's obviously going on. Some sort of disconnect is going on. So I started to do my research, and I don't know how many of you all know this, but platforms such as EVMux, Restream, StreamYard, any platform you use that requires you to go to www. whatever that platform is, so on and so forth, that is a browser-based platform. They are easy. They give you all the bells and whistles you can think of, depending on which one you go to, right? Some of them are a lot easier than others. So I, like you, have been using these platforms for years, different ones. I mean, from the real complicated ones such as Wirecast to vMix to you name it, I probably tinkered with it at some point. And all of them, if not most of them, have a price associated with it. And I'm a person like, look, I don't mind paying for it if it's going to work. But if I'm paying for it, it better work. Point blank, period. It better work. So I started to go outside of the StreamYard. I started to go outside of the Restream and the EVMux, and I started to tinker with other browser-based platforms because I am determined to find out what's going on. So one day I got up and I said, oh, I need to make some changes on my computer. I had to move some files, a lot of different things, a lot of cleanup, a lot of organization because things was getting a little crazy over here. So I happened to realize OBS. I said, man, hadn't gone to stream with OBS in a while. Let's see how it goes. So lo and behold, y'all, I opened up OBS, put the scenes back in here, did a unlisted stream, worked perfectly. What is Tay saying? Yeah, it makes you really mad, Dolores. So your name in red, probably because you're being bad. I don't pick these colors, man. Listen, so I started tinkering with OBS and I was sharing with Dolores and I was like, because y'all know she's just as techie as I am. So I said, listen, for some odd reason, because like I told you, I was determined it's not my equipment. Because look, I don't feel like buying a new computer. This computer is only like 4 years old, if that. Probably 3, almost, I think this is like the 4th year. This year will be the 4th year. And I'm not buying another computer. Because everything's been working just fine. So, I get on OBS, which is the opposite of a browser-based platform, which means it is an app-based platform. It's an app-based because you have to download the app onto your computer. It's not based on the browser like StreamYard and all the rest of those things I aforementioned, right? So I'm like, okay, so this is going to pull directly from my computer to prove to me and everybody else that it's not my equipment. Because in my mind, I'm thinking it's not my equipment. It's these platforms. So there is nothing more resource. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing, but very few programs that are more resource intensive than OBS. Anybody here that's ever used OBS, y'all know I'm not lying. OBS will pull in places that you didn't even know it could pull from. So I started tinkering with OBS. This is what you see now. This is OBS from my computer. Y'all are pretty much a part of my test because I wanted to see how this was going to go. So compared to last week, and be honest with me, those of you that were here and those of you that have caught the replay of last week's episode, is this better? I have just propped my phone up so I can see it. Is it better from you as a viewer? Because as a content creator, just like everyone else that's here, your main focus when you're creating content is so that your viewers could get the best experience possible. And even if your video jacks up, your audio at all times must remain clear and very good to hear, because there are some people that don't even look at their phones. They're not even watching you, but they have you on their earpods or earphones, and they're multitasking doing other things. But if they can hear you clearly, it makes the biggest difference. That's why you'll see some content creators that are only do a live stream behind their avatar. And some people like, I don't like seeing avatars, blah, 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 right? Some people are, they don't have that confidence, whatever the case may be, while they're always doing their content behind the avatar. But if you're someone like me, you're like, look, I want people to not only hear me, but I want you to see me. So in my case, it's important that both things are functioning, both the video and the audio. Now, what I noticed, and you may notice it too while you're live streaming, it's better. Thank you, Bayou. Thank y'all so much. Yes, it's way better. Thank you, Dolores. So far, it hasn't frozen up yet. Thank you, Sam. See, and this was what I was like, let me see if it's my, because if it was my equipment, child, would have been still sputtering over here, okay? The audio seems better. Good. That's good to hear. Okay, everybody's talking to each other. Hey, gardening is great. I'm not sure if I spoke to you earlier, but I hope I did. Welcome in. Hey, my Renaissance grandma, welcome in. So let me scroll up just in case I didn't just talk. I didn't look at my chat, even though I made it bigger so I can see it. Okay, hey, Queen Adaya, welcome in, welcome in. And so I started to just tinker in OBS. And I was sharing with Dolores before, I said, listen, I remember when people were really heavily using StreamYard. And I had some people who was like, hey, StreamYard is the best thing. I have no issues with StreamYard whatsoever. At the same time, I would watch another content creator that would be over there like, just struggle bus, right? And they could not figure out why. Well, in their case, their computer, for some reason, and StreamYard did not like each other. I don't know. So they would have to use their phone via StreamYard, and they would have a better outcome. I don't know why that happens, but it was happening. I've seen a lot of people struggle with StreamYard, EVMux, you name it. All these browser-based platforms for whatever reason, because there is some kind of fighting happening between their computers and the platform. So I'm guessing and wondering if that was my case. So I could have continued to make every excuse in the book as to what the problem was. But what I decided to do is just go by one by one before I just automatically say, oh, it's my computer, blah, 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 blah. And I go out and I spend all this money for a new computer when there's really nothing wrong with the one I already have. However, doesn't mean I won't upgrade my computer. I'm just saying. So for those of you that's like, I don't like live streaming, I'm having this issue with my live stream, it could possibly be a mixture of a lot of different things. You're just going to have to take the time and just go one thing by one thing like I had to do. Now, this is not to say that I won't come on here one day and turn on OBS and things just go belly up. Because what my history with these platforms has taught me is that none of these platforms are loyal to us. One minute they work fine, next minute they just don't. I have watched several people use StreamYard look flawless. I have watched several people use Restream look flawless. And then I get on here and I look like I'm in some kind of old school movie. Stuff just don't go. My lips are moving and then the words come later or the words come before my lips. Just crazy stuff. And so I will tell you, as someone that watches a lot of content as well as creates content, whenever you go live, host, every content creator in here, whenever you go live, whenever you make a video, always put your audience first. What is their experience going to be like? Don't make an excuse for it. What is their experience watching your content going to be like? All right. So let me look. Hey, JV. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me see what y'all are saying. What do you suggest? Okay, about what? Did I miss something? Let me go back. Queen Adaya, what do you suggest? I'm going, make sure you didn't say something before that. The Lord says OBS wants your computer. That's where, with OBS, I will tell you this. If you want OBS, because OBS is free, it is open source. Believe it or not, I don't know if y'all know this or not. If y'all put two and two together, as y'all using these different programs. But StreamYard, EVMux, Restream, a lot of these browser-based platforms use the guts from OBS to create what y'all are seeing now. I don't know if y'all know that or not. They have from Streamlabs, all of them. All of them have taken, because it's open source, I mean, you can go in there, get the code, and build from there. A lot of them built their platforms that we all know and love to run, and it's based off of the guts of OBS. That y'all didn't know that. So thank y'all so much. Let me see. Let me look at the chat here. All right, let's see. It ain't me. Look, I was like, it ain't me. All right, let's see. All right, going on down. I see Serena's coming with the jokes. Okay. So, Queen of Dot, you said, what do I suggest as far as, you mean like live streaming or as far as what? Break it down for me. Let's see. Dolores is talking to Bayou. Now, at first, Dolores, I was in a techie, I would call it techie, live stream. And they are Apple people. I'm not an Apple person. I've had Apple in the past, a story in itself, but I use Windows right now. Not saying I won't go to Apple, but just saying right now, today, I'm using Windows. And I happened to fall into a Apple-based discussion about all their new stuff they got going on. Anywho, the people that were talking about a particular program that was built specifically for Apple products. And I've mentioned it here. And if you ever have watched Tori's Brain, he uses this program and it's called Ecamm. Ecamm is Apple based. And I have mentioned, I think probably last week or the week before, when I told y'all, in my opinion, Ecamm is absolutely great. Everyone I have ever watched that uses that platform, their stuff is phenomenal. It looks awesome. But you have to have an Apple product to use it. That's just how it is. All right. So, hey, Crafty Leo, welcome in. Another member here. Welcome in. Kiss my babies for me. So they were talking, and turns out they don't have a lot of the issues that we have. When I say we, I'm talking about non-Apple users, because we have to jump through hoops, literally, to find the right program for our equipment. Just like I had to do here. I had to find the right piece of equipment that was going to get me where I wanted to go. And you're going to have to do the same thing. So, Queen, to answer your question, I suggest you just tinker. You're going to have to figure out what works best for you. What's the easiest thing for you to learn? Because what's easy for me may not be easy for you. A lot of people in the community have let me know that. I can pick up something, spend a few hours with it, have it down pat. You may take weeks, months, even years. I don't know. So I can't say which one you should use, because I could suggest something like StreamYard. You may go to StreamYard and say, okay, I understand it, but I'm not paying whatever fee they want me to pay. So then I say, okay, what's your budget? How much a month? How much a year do you want to pay? And then you kind of work your way from there. Some of you have said it multiple times. I'm free 99. Well, if that is you, you say, look, I want to live stream, but I want to do it for the low, meaning zero. Okay. If that is you, that automatically takes, in my opinion, EV Monks off the table, because they're free. Puts a watermark on too many things that you would find cool to use over there. They just watermark everything, child. It's just not even worth it, in my opinion. Now, you may be able to get over on that. You may not need all the bells and whistles. You just want a plain screen and that's it. Then fine, go EV Mugs free. But if you're trying to add an intro, an outro, a picture, or anything else like that, child, don't do it. Please don't do it. So then I say, okay, you say you want the free. I would say, well, Restream has a free version. Try it out, test and see. So does StreamYard. But if you like it, you need to understand the first tier of the paid program. You have to go and look at the pricing pages of these platforms to see what your budget is and what you're willing to pay for. I can't tell you that. Only you can tell you that. You know what your purse looks like. I don't know. I don't know. For those of you that say, okay, Kim, I'm sick, I'm tired of dealing with these fees. I'm tired of dealing with the fickleness of these platforms. Tell us about OBS, because OBS, like I said earlier, is free, but it comes with its own limitations and downfall. If you are a person and you like to have a panel with you, then OBS may be a little bit of a trick for you, maybe a little bit of a time, because it's not that easy. You have to do a workaround to get guests up on your screen. All right. Also, if you like to just have ease, you just want to click and go, OBS may not be for you, because you have to build scenes. All right. So if that's not something you want to be bothered with, leave OBS alone. Yes, it's free, but it comes at a cost of your time and your effort and your skill level to learn how to use it and get through it. That's all I'm saying. You want to click and go? StreamYard, to me, is probably the easiest click and go you're going to get. And Restream. Those two, because to me, Restream and StreamYard are almost like the same coin, just different sides. You may have a couple of things over here that you may not have over here, but they are constantly adding things on both sides. Some may do it a little quicker than others. You know, one platform may promise you we're going to do this, and it may be months later before you see those things. And I've seen that in chats with both platforms, people that use StreamYard and people that use Restream. They're like, you told us we're going to be able to do this. It's been months. Where is it? Okay, so same actually with EVMux too. So, but EVMux to me is producing a lot of things more quicker. However, sometimes when they produce something new, something else breaks. So it just depends, y'all. But I will tell you, if you're going to be using OBS, here's my, actually any platform, because if you get this, you can push and run just about anything you want to, as long as the platforms work with, right with for you. If you get minimum, in my experience, minimum, an i7 computer, you will have less problems than everyone else. i7, you probably can push it with an i5. But if you're going to start low, start with the i5 and see how it goes. But if you're not pushing it, I'm telling you, ever since I upgraded to an i7, all the problems I had before, the previous years, I don't have now. That's just my opinion. That's just based on my experience. I don't have those problems. So let me look at the chat. So let me see here. Yeah, exactly. Dolores says they watermarked me so bad I thought I was going to get flagged for ad promotion. Listen, I didn't. They just did that last year, because before, when I first brought EVMux to everyone's attention, that stuff was not there. That free program was the best in the game. The best in the game. Now, nah, man. They gonna watermark you. Every part of your stuff gonna have EVMux on it. Even you. They gonna put EVMux across you. Yeah, it's not worth it to me. That's just my opinion. Not the free version. Okay, Miss Joy says, I want the best experience for my subscribers and new potential subscribers. Absolutely. Because if people have a great experience doing your live streams or doing any content you produce on your channels, period, they're going to come back. They're going to stick around, and they're going to look forward to what you putting down. They're going to be ready for you. And so, but if every time they go over there, you having bugs going on, your stream is dropping, you're having sync issues between your words they hear and your lips, people will probably start falling off. And I've seen it, and I've done it, because I'm like, this is making my head hurt. I'm trying to keep up with them, but wow, this is a lot going on. Also, for those of you that like to make your live streams a little bit different than everyone else, please be mindful of the moving backgrounds and loud noises. There are certain people that have either diagnosed or undiagnosed epilepsy issues. And you don't want people to be coming to your live stream and you have all this flashing going on. You got all these loud sounds and bombs and all kinds of stuff going off and scaring people happen. You don't do that, okay? So be mindful. Like I said, put your audience first. Go to some people's channels whose content you love, that's in the pace that you enjoy, and then kind of take, get some ideas from that. Don't copy them, but get some ideas from that and say, okay, well, I like the flow of this show. This is how I'm going to do my stuff. And there are some people that you can reach out to and you say, hey, what camera are you using? Or I really like the way your stuff looks on camera. What camera are you using? What microphone? You sound so clear. What microphone are you using? Can you give me some suggestions? And I'm telling you, in these communities that a lot of us roll in, people are so giving. You will get in some communities, because I've been in some, oh, you got to pay me. I'm talking about pay. I'm talking about hundreds of dollars for them to even talk to you. So use the community that you have here. There are some great content creators here. Do some great content. Run some fabulous channels. Take advantage of it while it's free. Okay, take advantage of it. So, okay, guys, I tried a couple. I'll keep looking. Thank you. Yeah, definitely, Queen of Diane. If you will ever want to know more, I would invite you and everyone here, join the membership. We literally sit down, walk through these different platforms, answer questions right then and there. And that's what my members, when they'll tell you they're here, we go through things. I ask them all the time, what questions do you have? What's going on? If it's business related, life related, whatever the case is, they'll inbox me. We'll do one-on-ones. We'll sit down. We'll go through it. We'll set you up so you're ready to go. So if this is something you really want to know more about, definitely don't hesitate. Join the membership. We meet once a month. And of course, they have access to me whenever they need it. So yeah, if there's something you need, let me know. G Mama says, I think I seen a price on Ecamm when I was looking at, yes, Ecamm. I think they have like a 14-day trial. And then after that, you have to pay. So, but I think they used to now. I haven't looked recently, but I think they used to have a trial. You can try it out and then go from there. Okay, thank you, Miss Joyce. Misophonia. Okay, yeah, so we all have to be mindful of that, because if I just start booming and all kinds of stuff and not let you know, you never know, you might have a weak heart or something, and all of a sudden you just hear this boom and crackle and pop, and you may have PTSD, because there are some previous military people in here. You may have PTSD triggered by sounds or something. I'm just booming and popping and all kinds of stuff, and now you're over there having an episode and it's all my fault, and I don't even know that you're going through the things, right? Because I think it's cool. No, I have to think about my audience. So yes, all the booming booming and popping and just stuff flying across the screen. It's too much. It's too much. So just be mindful of your audience. Okay, Dolores says, yeah, my i3 was okay till the new updates. Yeah, them updates can get you too. Because let me tell y'all something from last week. Let me tell you something else I saw. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm gonna tell you, because I didn't realize it until after I got off my live stream. I had already previously, a couple of days before, my computer had an update. I had already taken care of that. And the rule of thumb is this. If you're going to do a live stream, do not do an update right before you go live. I have done it before, and it really jacked up, because, child, the new install was trying to figure out what was going on. My computer, it was just too much. So, if possible, do not do an update prior to, right before you go live, because something's going to, child, it's not going to work out right for you. I'm trying to tell you based on my experience. So here's what I learned. After I finished that live, I was so frustrated. I was like, oh, what's wrong with this? I would have ate dinner, came back to this computer. I was like, something has to give. Okay? Because I didn't change anything. Something has to give. So I started, not only did I go to my computer and see if there was an update, there was another update, even though I had just did an update a few days ago. It's ridiculous. So I said, okay, fine. Let me just do it. We're going to get these updates together. But did you also know you have to understand, if you use Chrome, and a lot of these platforms, you have to use Chrome, the Chrome browser. Chrome also has updates. And if you have never gone to Chrome, and I'll do a walkthrough if y'all need me to do a walkthrough. But if you have never went to Chrome and checked to see if the version of Chrome you are using needs to be updated, that could be your problem. Do you know, after last week's live, I happened to just go over to Chrome because I was just checking everything. And sure enough, Chrome had an update. And being that a lot of these platforms use Chrome, and I was over here using, unbeknownst to me, an outdated Chrome that probably led to the issue. So, if you're going to go live, make sure all your stuff, your computer and your Chrome is updated. Because some people may not have their Chrome set up, like me, who don't have their Chrome set up to automatic update. Because I want to see what you're doing first. Because you mess around and do an automatic update, I can be in the middle of a live stream and I would say you just updated and now I'm really messed up over here. So I like to go and check before the updates happen, or I'll set them at, 2:00 in the morning or something crazy like that. But please, everybody on here that's a live streamer, go check your Chrome and make sure you got the latest update to Chrome. Because even though I periodically go and I check that and I make sure that everything is updated, I missed it. And I believe it probably contributed to how bad last week's episode went. So if you have never updated your Chrome browser, go. I guarantee you there's some updates you're missing. All right. So those are the two things I wanted to make sure I mentioned to you all today. So that's what I learned from last week's episode with you all and time with you all. It was a whole mess. And sometimes these platforms and your computer just don't match up. It's not you, the user. Sometimes there's just a discrepancy between the platform and your equipment. And of course, sometimes you have those internet issues, which is where mine first started. My internet was jacked up. So once they fixed that and I started doing speed tests, there's another thing. Before you go live, at some point during that day, do a speed test and make sure, first of all, make sure you're getting the speed you're paying for. Number one, because I was not. Okay. So make sure that's what your speed test is going to take. It's going to tell you your download speed and your upload speed. If you're not sure what yours should be, contact your internet provider and say, what is my plan? Or you can log into your account. What am I supposed to be getting versus what you're getting? That's where you start there. If you're getting what you're supposed to be getting and your upload and your download, that's step one, because that means your internet's good. You're only going to get what you're paying for, all right? Doesn't matter how much you may want to be able to have a 200 upload. You only paying for 25, okay? And that's all they're going to give you in case you upgrade. So once you verify that, then you can start looking at the platforms. Some people even bounce between. And the drivers, absolutely, Rambo. And the drivers, definitely. Thank you for that. Hey, Katrina, welcome in. Hey, Lisa, welcome in. So, okay, yes, indeed, Lisa. So, yes, so check and make sure you as the user are doing everything in your power, that everything is updated. Your Chrome's updated, your computer's updated, your drivers are good. Your camera's good, your microphone's good, your lighting is good. Everything from your end that you can do as a user, you are doing. Because before that live, I didn't even think about Chrome. I knew that it was important about the computer. I knew it was important about Chrome. But at that moment, I wasn't thinking about a Chrome update. I was thinking to make sure I was on time, making sure I had everything set up, my lights are good, blah, blah, right? And my head was centered and I was ready to go. So when things went bad, and I think probably about everybody in here that's ever done a live stream has had at least one bad live stream, at least one, it kind of can knock you off your center. It can mess with your flow. It could just mess with you all kinds of ways. So take it from me. Many of you have been rolling, especially if you were here last week. Things can go bad. Don't get frustrated. Take a deep breath and understand that as a content creator, there are just going to be certain things that's out of your control. And I've always said it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen when you're live. It's going to happen when you're live in front of a bunch of people. Just crazy stuff out of nowhere. But don't make excuses for what's going on. If you need to upgrade your computer, especially if you're going to take this thing seriously. If you want people to come to your channel and engage in your content, and you have a 1902 computer. I don't even think computers back then. You got a 1984 computer. You know good well you're not going to be pushing anything through that browser. You know you're not. I know you don't want to go to your local big box store and get a new computer. But these things, live streaming, takes some power. And if you want to do it for real, and you want people to engage in your content, you're going to have to go and just open up that purse, open up that wallet, save, do whatever you need to do to get better equipment. Stop making excuses for it. If you need it and you want to be taken serious on these platforms in social media, period, you're going to have to make a choice. I'm biased. I almost threw something at you. You just got a computer last year. You just won a computer. Stop playing with us. Talk about, and then you also what? I think you got 2 computers last year, didn't you? Because you showed them to us. I was on your channel. I know I saw 2 computers. Talk about she need a new computer. Miss Joy, tell Abias to give you one of them computers she Y'all see how Abias tried to play us? I need a laptop that's top notch. I am so done with her. Abias got like 15 computers over there that she got all last year. Let me stop. She playing with us, y'all. Let me see what else she say. Who else? Miss Joy says, thank you so much for staying on topic about excuses. I know, right? I know. But here is something back to the topic. Thank you, Miss Joy. It happens. Okay, I was building a fund. Someone was Bayou says she has a building fund, okay? So if you want to contribute to her, she would gladly take your donation. Okay, listen, I'm with you. These computers are expensive. That's why, y'all, I was determined. Please, Lord, tell me it's not this computer. Please. Because they are expensive. And I wanted to do something else with the funds, okay? Sister want to go on vacation this year. Please don't tell me I got to dig into my piggy bank. Please. So, but if I would have had to, because being able to bring content and different things to my audience and to the people of God, I wanted to make sure that I was doing my part and I was willing to make that sacrifice if need be. And even if I didn't want to, my husband was like, you need to upgrade. Like, I have a lot of different things here, a lot of different peripherals that are, like I said, I have a long time. So a lot of them are like USB-A and stuff like that. Well, a lot of things now are made for USB-C. And I'm looking at my husband like, he's like, what's this one? I'm like, A. He's like, what's this? A. What's this? Oh, that was a C. I just got that one last year. That's a C. He's like, baby, come on now. Come on, baby. We got to do better than this. I'm like, but it works. So I understand, y'all. 10, it also may not be excuses if what they're in it for is, what is it? Yeah, that's a good point. Here is something I want us to all be honest about when it comes to excuses. Is it possible that the excuses that we make, regardless, we all have different ones, regardless as to what they are, is it possible that the excuses that we make have become our crutch? Let me explain. Sometimes when we say different things as to why we can't do something, as to why we do something, that thing becomes a crutch. It becomes an enabler to us when we know better, when we know we could do better, when we know there's better set up in God's plan for us. But because we've become so comfortable, we've become so complacent, we've become so set in our ways, we will make every excuse possible to stay in that thing. Stay right there. Because it's familiar to us. You don't know what's out there. You don't know what's out there. You want what's over there, but in order to get what's over there, you have to let go of the excuses that you have right here. A lot of people don't want to do that. And so instead of putting in the work it takes to get these things that we all want and desire, we make excuses that keep us stuck. And then to make things even more complicated, we'll go to someone else, tell them all our problems, all our issues, and expect them to become like that crutch as our excuses are. And then they become our enablers. And the moment you start telling all these things to the same people, you'll run across a person that's not buying into your excuses. And they'll listen to you. They'll hear you completely out. You'll go in there with your woe is me, and you'll tell them everything under the sun. Hey, Lynn, welcome in. And as soon as you finish, they gonna look you square in the eye and say, are you done? Are you done? Because I've heard your woe is me story. Now it's time for you to stop making all those excuses that you just gave me, why you can't do this, why you're not doing that, why that happened, blah, blah, blah. We all have a past. If God would ever give us an eraser to go in our past and give us 5 minutes to erase the things we wish we could just erase and get rid of and act like it never happened, every one of us would take that eraser and just go to town. But that's not how life works. We have all made decisions and we've had to pay the cost to be the boss. We've had to live with those consequences based on the decisions that we made in that time. But now you're here. So what you have to do now is stop making excuses. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Stop allowing your past to be your number one excuse as to why you can't go and prepare for your future. Stop doing that. Because every time we say things from our past, what mama did, what daddy didn't do, what this one did, and what happened, it's making us step further and further away versus closer to the plan of our future that God has set up for us. And what we have to do is look ourselves in the mirror and say, self, you got yourself into this mess. Self, you're going to get yourself out of this mess. Basically, what I'm telling you is you have reached an age and a stage in your life where not only are you going to have to be the problem, but you're going to have to be the solution as well. I told y'all can blame Miss Joy for this. Y'all can blame Miss Joy for this. Because the truth of the matter is, your excuses are not helping you. God knows the plans that He has for you. He knows where He wants you to go. He knows where you are. And for many of us, I can speak for myself, I have seen the red flags and still stepped in it, knee deep. And then had to go and say, woe is me, look at what happened, I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. And I've had people look at me and say, Kim, are you finished? Are you done? Get up. Stop making all these excuses. You have work to do. You got yourself in this mess? Here's a shovel. Start digging. Get out of it. Nobody wants to hear no more sob stories because you're making excuses, and those excuses have hid your vision from seeing your future. You want to get out of the mess? Get out of the mess. You're not going to get out of the mess. Keep talking about the mess. You're not. I can sit here all day and say, man, I sure want to go in there and get me something out the kitchen. I sure want to get up out of here and get something out the kitchen. But until I scoot this chair back, put my feet flat on the floor and push up and stand up and start taking the appropriate steps from here to my kitchen, I could sit here and perish from dehydration because I didn't get up and go get something to drink. My daughter or my husband can come in here right now and say, Mom, there's some food in the kitchen. And I'm sitting there talking, I sure am hungry. They were like, well, the food's in the kitchen. Man, I am so hungry. I'm making every excuse not to execute, not to get up off my tail out of this chair and go in that kitchen and feed myself. I can't look at my husband and say, well, you didn't feed me. He gonna be like, you can walk. Do you want me to bring you a plate? And I'll be like, yeah, bring me a plate. So what have I made my husband become to me? An enabler. If I sit here 24 hours a day and I have people bringing me stuff because I start saying, oh, I'm this. Oh, can you bring me something to drink? Oh, can you do this for? Oh, I want a live stream, Tim. Oh, can you come and hold my hand? Oh, I really want to build a business, Tim, but I don't really feel like opening up a website that you told me to go to and look up the information. I really want to file a trademark, Tim, but I don't really feel like doing the research. I know you told me the step-by-step is what to do, but I don't want to do. Do you see how annoying that sounds? If you want something in your life, you have nothing but space and opportunity between you and that thing that you want. I've mentioned in previous lives, God always has said, how big is your ask? He says, ask and you shall receive. Faith without works is dead. You've heard all of these things. When are you going to put in the work? I could sit here and say, man, I want a 3-bedroom house or a 4-bedroom house, and I want this and I want that. But if I don't get up off my tail and do the research to better myself and educate myself when I get ready to take that next step, I can't blame the government. I can't blame anybody outside of myself because I didn't do my part. It's not like the information isn't there. Most of us keep our phones in our faces all the time. The information is readily available. But you would rather take the cheap way out, Miss Free 99, Mr. Free 99. Oh, I got y'all. You'd rather take the cheap way out than to put in the work and get what you want. You would rather look at everybody around you. Remember last week I told y'all about shining? You would rather look at everybody around you and side-eye them because they're shining. They're doing what they were called to do. But then you better say that thing, Tay Weezy. Closed mouths don't get fed. Hello. But then you want to look at them when they're out there shining and they're exploring different things and they're growing and they're sowing and glowing and doing all these great things. And you want to sit up there with your woe is me stories. People are not going to keep waiting on you. People are going to give you the blueprint. They're going to be nice enough to share with you the blueprint. It's up to you to do the work. They're not going to show you the blueprint and do the work and reap the reward. They're not going to do all of that. This is your dream. This is your baby. You have to take care of it. Stop putting that power and responsibility on everyone else. This is your life. This is your journey. It's up to you to put in the work. But the more excuses you make, the more those excuses become your enabler. And everyone that falls for those excuses because you keep throwing them at them and they just stop pushing you and they say, okay, you're right. Yeah, girl, you're right. You're going to be broke all your life. Yeah, girl, you're right. Yeah, man, let me tell you something. Yeah, man, I know you ain't never get a better job. Yeah, man, you're right. And they just start agreeing with you. Then you're going to stay stuck in that hole. And they going to just keep saying, yeah, I don't hang out with Keisha no more because, Keisha got more excuses than I can tolerate. All she do is whine and cry. Let me tell you something. Some of you all have become, I was going to say it. I don't sugarcoat anything, so I'm just going to say it. Some of you all have become the ugly friend in your relationships with other people. Let that sink in. Let me get some water. In the words of Miss Linda, stay on. Let me explain. I don't know how many of you have ever been with a group of females or a group of guys, and when you was younger and you was clubbing, and some of y'all still may be clubbing, that's your business, not mine. And you always have that person in the crowd that they may not say it, but they sure treat you a little different. You have become the ugly friend. How you know you're the ugly friend? Because they only have you around. Hey, Echo neighbor, welcome in. They only have you around to make them feel good. You may be shorter than them. You may be fatter than them. You may be lighter or darker than them. They may have a college degree. You may only have a high school diploma or a GED. They only keep you around because you make them look good, baby. You just became the ugly friend. And they said, you know what? The mission tonight is to get a date. So they take you out with them because they know you, in their mind, you don't look as good as they do. So they don't mind hanging out with you. They'll take you all over the place because compared to them, They honestly don't even see you on the same level. You're only there to make them feel good about themselves. So when you go to them and you start sharing with them your woe is me stories, they was like, oh, for real? Oh man, that's crazy. Wow. I'm going to pray for you. And they say all the cliche things to you. But in the back of their mind, they thinking, good, Keisha. I am so happy that you are struggling because it makes my problems look small. Please keep telling me your woe is me. You making me feel good about myself. Oh, you can't pay your light bill? You had to reach out to who? Oh, whew, thank you, Jesus. I can definitely pay mine. I don't have a problem. Oh, you got how many baby daddies, girl? 4. Oh, whew, I only got 1. You sure making me feel good about myself. You have become the ugly friend in this relationship. That's why they have you. Last week I told y'all about shining. See, some people, when you the ugly friend, in their mind when it comes to you, when you the ugly friend, they don't mind you shining as long as you don't outshine them. You the ugly friend. How dare you go get a college degree? You the ugly friend before they do. You the ugly friend. How dare you get married before they do? You the ugly friend. How dare you go? Yes, they're praying for someone's downfall. How dare you go and decide that you're going to start your business? They're going to look at you like, oh, how's your little business doing? Well, you know, I know such and such and such. You ever met those people that like to pull, I almost call it pulling rank, but they like pull people? Oh, I know such and such. Oh, I bought tickets to go such and such. And they just keep throwing all this stuff in your face. Because they want to make you feel bad without telling you they want to make you feel bad. It's all about actions. Don't be the ugly friend. You are not a doormat, but your excuses will make you one. You're not a doormat, but hanging out with the wrong people with an underlying agenda will make you one. Get up. Get up. Cast out all these excuses. Get up. You want a bigger house? Get up every day and work towards that bigger house. You want a loving, dedicated mate? Get up every day, better yourself, position yourself so that he or she will come find you. Depends on how the situation is, you know. I will always say he, but this is a different world now. Be ready, position yourself for that upcome, for that upgrade. You don't have to be at the bottom. So stop allowing your excuses to keep you there. You sick of being in the valley? You want to get out the valley? Then speak to yourself. Remind yourself as to who you are and whose you are. That's going to break those chains of those excuses. But if you want better, you have to position yourself for better and stop expecting the people in your circle, outside your circle, here on social media to be your saving grace. Everybody here has their own issues. Everybody here has things they're going through or going into or coming out of. We all do. Lord knows I do. But if every time they meet you, they cross paths with you, and everything you say is woe is me, and you keep throwing what happened yesterday at them, they're going to get sick of you. They're going to make you the ugly friend. And they're only going to want to be around you when it's beneficial to them. Don't be that. It's one thing when people try to make you that, but it's another thing when you make yourself that. God didn't create you to be a doormat. God didn't create you to struggle the way you're struggling. A lot of the struggle that we find ourselves into is because of our excuses. This is a season of execution. This is not the season to be sitting on your tail and sitting on your hands and limiting yourself. Some of us are our own worst enemy. We get in our heads and we stop doing the things that we know how to do. A few live streams ago, we talked about fears. This is your season now to smack fear in the face. If you know whatever God is calling you to do is within your realm, it's right there. then stop making excuses as to why you can't do it. Stop going to people that don't have your best interest at heart. You better learn how to read a room, and you better learn how to use discernment when it comes to people. I told y'all, smiling faces tell some of the biggest lies. Stop thinking because they say your name in a live stream that mean they care about you. Their actions will always speak louder than their words. Don't allow your lack of self-confidence and your ongoing feeling of loneliness to make you get caught up with the wrong people who don't have your best interest at heart. We have to stop denying and overlooking packages that God sent us because we don't like the wrapping paper. Oh, I don't like them. They're too techy. Oh, I don't like them. They're too loud. Oh, I don't like them because of this or because of that. That could be the exact person that God has sent to you to help you be able to get out of that valley. Because let's face it, there are some people that will see you in a hole, but they won't even grab a shovel to help you get out of it. They'll watch you day in and day out struggle, won't lift a finger to help you, but will laugh at you and crack jokes with you, have lunch and dinner with you, but they won't help you. Because in their minds, you're the ugly friend. Hey, Asatine, welcome in. You're the ugly friend. They need somebody around them to make them feel better about themselves. And you have been it. You have been tagged and you ain't even know. Just think. Why would they want a bunch of people that's just as smart as they are, just as income increased as they are, they're financially wealthy? Let's just say it like that. But then you come along and they say, wait a minute, why am I need to hang out with Emma Jean and Joyce, who we all went to college together, we all got husbands, we all got this and we all got that. If I hang out with you and I entertain you, it's gonna make me look good. See, them other ladies could almost like competition in a way. Even though you tell yourself they're not competition, but you acting like they are, because every time they get a new car, you gotta go get a new car. Every time they go get their nails done, you have to go get your nails done. Every time they go to an event, you have to go to an event. So it's like you're one-upping each other. But with this person, with the ugly friend, all you gotta do is just listen to their problems all day. And for some reason, it makes you feel like you made it. Be careful. Narcissists are another category. Hey, Jamie, welcome in. But you have to be careful. Hey, Fresh and Fire, welcome in. You have to be careful. Because people will make you, in their little cliques, they ugly friend. They know you have nothing to provide to them according to them, okay? You have a lot to provide to the world. You have a lot to provide to anybody that connects with you. But to them, you're a lesser. You're less than. They put you in a box. They don't want you to shine. They don't want you to get better. Because if you start getting better, you start educating yourself, you start learning new words, and you just start just becoming who God created you to be fully. You start walking in that thing, in your purpose. Every time you enter a room, you become undeniable. You start transitioning from the ugly friend. Now you on their level. They're not going to know what to do with you. Because remember, now you're going to see the transition. Because at first they talked about you. Oh yeah, me and Michelle, cool, man. Yeah, that's my girl, blah, 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 blah. But as soon as Michelle starts bettering Michelle, she starts walking in her power, walking in her authority, Michelle becomes a problem. Michelle becomes a problem. Because Michelle can no longer be called the ugly friend. Michelle got money, Michelle got a car, Michelle's doing well in her life. Michelle's loving God, she's doing her thing. But now she's a problem for the ones that made her ugly friend, because you can't call her that no more. She's leveled up. Michelle knows who she is. Everything Michelle does, she does it with a purpose. People love Michelle. Michelle's name is all across the internet. Michelle got a book. Michelle doing some amazing things. You can't put Michelle in that box no more. Michelle is shining. Now you got a problem. Now you want all your other little friends to sit there and start talking about Michelle because you can't hold Michelle no more. You can't control Michelle no more. Now Michelle's a problem for you. That's what I'm encouraging everyone in here to do. Start getting up every day and stop making excuses, number one. Start coming up with a plan to get to whatever it is you know God has called you to get to. If it's to write a book, if it's to buy a house, if it's to buy land, if it's to get married, whatever it is, you know God is shining that light saying, this is your next level. Focus your attention on that. Stop going to yesterday. Every now and then you may have to look back, but you don't stay back. You use that as fuel in your fire to keep moving forward. Because we all have a past. We all have had at some point a humble beginning. But hey, Yankee sister, welcome in. What you have to understand is this. Where you start is not where you're going to finish. But we all had to start somewhere. Doesn't mean that's where you stay. So don't allow your excuses to keep you trapped in a place that you should have left a long time ago. I know it's familiar to you. I just saw a house, somebody in the house, and that house, you're supposed to leave that house a long time ago. You'd have had a fire, you'd have had a flood, you'd have had all kind of issues, you'd have had equipment just short out on you, you'd have had all kind of issues in this house, whomever you are, and God is saying, what else do I have to do to you in this house for you to hear me tell you it is time to level up? I know it's comfortable. I know it's familiar spaces, but baby, I have better for you. Welcome in, Unicorn Lady Tech. Hey, Happy Matt, welcome in. I have better for you. So why are you settling for less? Have I not shown you the possibilities that I have out there for you? If I did it for Tamika, I'll do it for Ann. But don't look at Tamika and start what we call hating on Tamika. Don't try to downplay Tamika. Don't be like, I see your little business. I see you done sold a few of your little books. What you see as little, God will make great. I'm a witness to that. So whatever God is telling you, listen. But stop making all these excuses as to why you can't do something. Take the limits off. Take the limits off. You have so much to live for. You have so many people that want to see you shine. They want to see you successful. Stop concentrating on the ones that don't, that's lying to your face and pretending they want you to. Because a lot of them have probably made you the ugly friend. So stop making all these excuses as to why you can't do and why you can't have. Let God increase your territory. Stop fighting him on that. I had to learn that even with the equipment that I have here. I've had these things, like I said, some of this stuff for 10 years plus. It started out with me. It's that sentimental value. And it's clear that it's time for an upgrade. Yes, it still works. And yes, I could probably put it on eBay and make a couple dollars if I wanted to. But that's not the point. The point is, sometimes when you start plugging in different peripherals from different, let's say, generations and time frames, sometimes they fight each other. So don't be afraid of the upgrade. Hey, Gina, welcome in. I'm here to see if you're my business. Gina, you're best. Sometimes we have to stop and be willing to get out of our comfort zones. I told y'all before, your comfort zone could be your dead end zone. What are you running from? What are you so afraid of? What's stopping you? Stop allowing those things to be your crutch to keep you from moving forward. Pick your feet up. Stop dragging them. Pick your feet up and step, baby. As the wisdom keepers used to tell me when I was a little girl, baby, if you take one step, God will take two. He will. Let me use myself for an example this year. I told y'all earlier in this live stream. Let me tell you something. I am a person, on certain things, I'm a creature of habit. Meaning, I like certain things to go. I have certain things planned out. I know at this time I'm going to be doing this. I know this goes after this. Like, I know my schedule. Certain things I know. And I truly dislike when things come in and mess up my routine. I'm just like, hey, now wait a minute. This was not on the schedule. So I understand that that's me. However, December of last year, 2024, God spoke new beginnings. When I started this year, I started doing the live streams, and everything that I thought that I was going to do, God kept switching like the hands on the clock. Things just kept tick. He just kept moving stuff that was knocking me off of my routine. And I was like, why does this keep happening? What's going on? Just recently, God reminded me, what did I tell you, Kim? I told you new beginnings. So let me show you how it started. My car that I had since 2012 started acting funny on me. And I was like, well, I can just get that fixed. This is my car. I love this car. This car got all these features in it. Blah, 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 right? It was familiar. Very familiar. I didn't want to get rid of it. Hey, the everyday life of an OCD chick. I didn't want to get rid of it. This is my baby. I love this car. But then that car started saying, I need some help. And I was like, it's okay. I'm about to rev my car. It's okay, baby. It's okay. We're going to get through this. Because I was familiar. That car was familiar to me. And so my husband was like, baby, I done told you for the last 2 years, you need to upgrade your car, you need a new car. And I was like, no, you don't understand. Me and my car got to understand. I'm about to talking to it. I'm wiping it down like, it's okay, girl. It's okay. We're going to get through this. But no, time kept ticking. I just kept stretching it out, stretching the time. My husband was like, all right, call me from the side of the road if you want to, because you know what you're supposed to do, right? But I was like set in my ways, y'all. Like I said, my routine. I had that car since 2012. Okay? So I was like, it's going to be okay. Well, in January, it started in September. My husband said, look here. Now, y'all think I don't hold no punches. No, he don't hold no punches. Okay? So he was just real with me. You need a new car. I got my car because he upgraded his car a couple years ago. He was like, look, your turn. And I was like, no, I'm good. It's still working. It's still running. Yeah, it's cold. It wasn't backfiring or anything like that, but just little small things happened. Like, the air conditioner stopped working. And in the summertime, we would burn it up. Like, just let the window down. I just kept messing with it. But come on, baby. Come on. You got it. Then it would kick on. I'm like, all right, good. Oh, we good. My husband's like, this is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's some Jimmy Rig stuff you got going on over here. What is going on with this car? But I was like, I got it. It's my car. I know how to make it work. I got this. He was like, yeah, just stop. And so, hold on. Let's see what Gina says. Gina says, I was comfortable with the content I was providing, and someone said to me, you should do this and you should do that. My exact words were, I'm not comfortable doing that. They said, oh, hello. Hello. Take that comfort and kick it to the side of the road, child. So let me tell y'all what happened. So I gave in because I looked at the little thing in the window that tells you when your next oil changes and all those things. And I was kind of creeping slowly to that, very slow, because, I only drove the car. Okay. But I was trying to stretch this because in my mind, I was like, this car is a good car. It did not even have 50,000 miles on it. I had it brand new ever since 2012. And I was like, we still got some miles, okay? We still got some driving to do. We still have some trips to take. I'm not getting rid of my car. Even though the car was saying, if you don't get rid of me, I'm going to get rid of you. Like, I'm going to let you down. And I heard God, new beginnings, later on in the year. And I kept saying, nope, I'm not listening. I'll get new this. I can get new that. But I'm not messing with my car. My car is fine. Okay? That's how those excuses had gotten into my head, had made me blind to the fact that the car was starting to go into a transition of its own. Probably transitioning up out of here. And the last thing I wanted was for myself and my family to be on the side of the road because I'm being hard-headed and because I'm making excuses. But at that time, I was willing to take that chance. To be honest with you, I was willing to take that chance. So, like I said, we started in September. My husband said, okay, we're going to start looking at cars, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, I want to have this feature. I want to have this, blah, 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 blah. So I started making my little list. So every car I was looking at, some had this, they didn't have this. So then I had to get to a place, okay, you're going to have to give up this for this. And it was just, and I was like, but see, my car has all these things already. Do you see? I'm trying to convince my husband, do you see this? Every feature I want is already in the car I have. Why would I get another car? Just fix this one. He was like, no. Car is 12 years old. Let it go. Y'all. So in December, it was time. I had to make a big girl decision. I had to stop making excuses because I heard God clearly say, new beginning. And in order to get that new beginning that God had obviously started to orchestrate and put into motion, I had to execute. I had to do my research on car buying and all these different things. Because my husband says, okay, this is your new car. I'm going to leave it in your hands. Now, typically, like I said before, he buys the cars and he picks the car. We go to it together. Okay, fine, whatever. This time I was doing the entire process myself, which is I had never did this before. I'm doing this myself. He was just giving the money. So when I finished all of that in January, got the new car. Hey, welcome in, Gina. Thank you for joining the membership. So I was like, okay, I gotta move it over too. And I was like, okay, God. I heard you, new beginnings. So that means I had to put aside the excuse, right, as to why I couldn't get a new car. Because that old car became so familiar to me. I didn't want change. I was used to it. She was used to me. Okay? Yes, it was a girl. Leave me alone. Okay? So when I got rid of her and we got a new baby, it took me a minute. I kept getting that car like this. Yeah, it's new. Yeah, it's nice. Even the dealership man was like, you sure? Like, most people be happy. You up in here like, And I was like, And my husband was like, I can't with you. I just cannot with you. You got a brand new car. You over there like, because it was unfamiliar. It's beautiful, but it's unfamiliar. Just the other day, I had to take my daughter to an appointment, and I've been there trying to figure out how to do the defrost, because I was used to with the defrost button with my old car. I'm in there like trying to drive like this. Too much high tech in here. Where's the thing? So I'm like, oh, we got to do this. I'm going down the road like that, y'all. Just a whole mess. My daughter's like, Ma, it's okay. Take your time. You gonna figure it out, girl. So, just a whole mess, y'all. Whole mess. So that was new beginning number 1. So now we're entering in new beginning number 2. Like I told y'all earlier at the beginning of the live, my husband is ready to upgrade my equipment in here for live streaming all these things because, you know, I have officially made it a pillar in my business. It's not a hobby. We're standing on business over here, right? So he's like, all right, baby, I saw your live stream. That was trash. I'm like, yeah, I know that already. He's like, but we can do better. I'll help you upgrade your equipment. I'm like, I didn't ask you. He's like, you represent me and I represent you. And whatever you're doing that's a part of your business, you want it to be seen as the best foot you can put forward. You can do better than this. I had all kind of lights, y'all. None of the things didn't match. They just worked. So he said, here, boom, pick your lights. He had a whole list of different lights. I'm looking through the lights. Oh, I like this one, I like this one, blah, blah, blah. So pick the lights. I just put one of them up before this live stream. That thing is nice. So I still have another one to put up on the other side. So I'm like, all right, fine. Fine, God, I hear you. And obviously you and my husband then did some kind of handshake orchestrating here against me, but that's fine. We're going to try this new thing. Before I was using browser-based platforms because it was easy. StreamYard, easy to me. Let me make sure I make that clear. Restream, easy to me. EVMux, easy to me. OBS, now easy to me. But I had to find the platform, whatever it was going to be, that was going to give my audience the quality that they deserve. Because I know I could do better. Just like many people that's here, that complacency will make you stay in your comfort zone. It's too easy to get up and go to StreamYard and just go to your little dashboard and just go live and just be like, hey, y'all, blah, 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 right? No plan whatsoever, just go. But it's going to take a level of dedication, seriousness, and kicking excuses out the door to put your audience first and give them what they want. And stop making excuses as to why you can't. I literally had, in my mind, when everything happened after last week, I had said, well, I'm not doing live streams anymore. That was trash. I don't have time to be fighting with these platforms. I don't know what's going on. I give up. I'm done. I'm just going to do recorded videos on my phone or on my camera, and I'm just going to upload those, and then whatever it's going to be is going to be, and I'm just going to be done with this live streaming thing because this is ridiculous. But God wouldn't have that to be so. It's almost like I was put in a position similar to, oh my goodness, the name just went out of my head just that fast. Good gracious, what about, who was it in the Bible? His name just went completely out of my head. Lord have mercy. Who was it in the Bible with the hair? Good gracious. With the hair, they couldn't cut the hair. Oh my Lord. How did his name go out of my head? Oh goodness. But him, at the end of his story in the Bible, they had cut his hair. He had become weak. Samson, thank you, son. Woo, that name just said, shoop. Samson. At the end of Samson's story, he was chained up and the people were having a party and everything. And he started to pray to God for one more push. This is what I felt like since last week. God was saying, you got one more in you. You got one more trick in your bag. Pull it out. Reach in that bag. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. Hey, Wanda, welcome in. You got one more in you. I know you want to quit. You got one more in you. Ask God for that one more push, because that one more push is going to bring the house down. That one more thing that God is pricking you in your heart. Hey, Lisa, it's going to bring the house down. But you can't give up now. I know it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Your chest is almost on your knees. Sometimes you feel like you are just bent over that far because of the pressure of this world. But I'm here to tell you, ask God for one more push. God, give you strength one more time. Because see, that's what the Holy Spirit was telling me. Kim, you got one more in you. You have another trick. You have another skill set. Tap into that skill set and work that thing. Stop making excuses, because I know you sit there and you look at these other platforms. You say, but that's easy though. I can do that in my sleep. Blah, blah, blah. I can do that. It's so easy. I can do this. No. Sometimes God will put us in positions where he wants to expand our territory, meaning outside of our comfort zones. This is what OBS is to me. And maybe StreamYard or Restream or EVMux may be that to you. We have to stop being complacent. We have to stop being comfortable. It's not me, Gina, it's God. Just blame him. We have to stop being comfortable. I could sit up here and grab my phone and take y'all on a tour and go different places. Too easy. But sometimes God says, oh, I can sit there and show you how to start a business and show you how to, it's too easy for me. And God knows that. So sometimes he'll say, you know what? I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you. You've become so complacent on so many different things, like I was with that car. I'm going to challenge you. You're going to learn something new, whether you want to or not. You're going to trust me, whether you want to or not. That's what he's doing to a lot of us here, including myself. You feel like you're being stretched. You feel like nothing you're putting your hand on is working. You're over there buying stuff and trying to make the best live stream you can, and nobody's showing up to your live stream. You're on other people's platforms, and everybody and their mama and them know about you. They know about your channel, but yet when you go live, it's crickets there. And you're asking everybody, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? Sometimes God will try to direct us, saying, here is what you need to do. And you will look at that thing and look at that person that God is clearly telling you to connect with. And you'll say, they're too techie for me. I don't know about that. I don't know, God. I don't think they're going to have time for me. Or you'll see who's already connected to them. And you'll be like, I don't really care for them. Yeah, God, I hear you telling me I should probably connect with them, but I don't like Lucretia over there. I don't like Lucretia. But God is not telling you to connect with Lucretia. He's telling you to connect with Tammy. So you gonna let Tammy block you from whatever Lucretia is designed and called to help you get to? Don't you understand that some people are only seasonal? Maybe it's a skill set that only Lucretia can teach you, and just for a season. Maybe God is telling you to connect with Lucretia. Bump everybody else. But your job is to learn from and glean from Lucretia during this time, and then you can go about your business. You ain't got to worry about nobody else. But don't miss your blessing. Hey, Mr. Bandit, don't miss your blessing and let Lucretia and them keep you from your next level. Because remember, God has wrote that plan for you. And if they're in that plan for you, you're not going to get from point A to B if you don't go and finish up A. And if that person is a part of your A, you're just going to have to deal with it and do what you need to do so you can get to your B. So I'm telling someone here today to understand, don't let these excuses that we all make keep you at a dead end in your life. Don't allow your past to keep creeping in your present every single day and causing you to be so fearful to take a step outside of that comfort zone. It costs you your future, your children's future, and generations to come, because you were so afraid and so bound by your past that you never stepped outside of your comfort zone. You didn't listen to reason. You had more excuses than are in a book, than words in a book. You had every excuse why you couldn't be better, why you couldn't do this, and why you had every excuse. And do you know who capitalizes on every excuse that we make that keeps us from doing what God called us to do? The enemy. Do you know your enemies will literally listen to you? I told y'all about the ugly girl. They will listen to your problems and then use them against you. The moment God says, hey, I want you to write this book, and you tell your friends or people in your circle, hey, I'm writing a book. Before you know it, every one of them will start calling you when you're trying to concentrate on writing your book. Stuff will start happening. They will start talking about you. Girl, you ain't got time to read no book. You over there raising your kids. You ain't got time to write no book. You over there got to do this. You ain't got time to write no book. Instead of being your help and your support system, they will literally become a stumbling block. Because especially if you're trying to do something that they have never done, like being an author, opening up a business, going from an online business to an actual brick and mortar, leaving your hometown, becoming what they call a nomad, a person that just travels the world. You don't really have an address. You go wherever the wind blows you. They will try to shut you down. every single time because you're doing something that they were too afraid to do, and you're actually doing it. You're facing your fears. You're taking off the limits. No chains have you bound no more. You have literally placed yourself under the clear guidance of God, and you are moving according to your purpose. People don't like that. People don't like it at all. Hey, Ro, welcome in. And people will do whatever they think they can do to keep you bound. And you will help them by making excuses as to why you can't move forward. Why on earth would you give people that truly don't like you ammo to hurt you? Every time you complain, especially if they have put you in the ugly friend box, they're going to use that to their advantage and to your disadvantage. Don't give them that ammo. You got to have faith in this season of your life. Every day you wake up, you should look at yourself. I don't care if you don't have no eyebrows. I don't care if your hairline is back to your ears. I don't care what you feel your shortcomings are. Every day, look yourself square in the eye in a mirror. I don't care if you don't have a mirror. You have to go outside and look at somebody's windshield that shows your reflection, baby. But you take it every opportunity and encourage yourself. Don't wait for the person to your left, to your right, to the people in this chat. Don't wait for anybody to encourage you, because you don't know, they may have made you the ugly friend. I don't know. You encourage yourself. Yes, yesterday happened. Whatever mistakes happened yesterday, it happened. Whatever the situation from yesterday happened, it happened. Whatever the situation was last year, it happened. Whatever the situation was in 1995, it happened. But you're in the now. So what are you going to do now? You already know your story from then, but what are you going to do now? Stop making excuses. Your past can either help you or hurt you. Just depends on how you use it. I could have looked at my early beginnings as a kid growing up in the projects as a death sentence, but I choose to use that as fuel in my fire to push me forward. God didn't allow me to go through that experience of my childhood and young adulthood for no reason. But I'm not going to use those things as a way of telling myself I'm not worth it. I don't deserve it. When God has clearly showed me time and time again that he don't play about me. That he has something powerful, in my future. And all I have to do is ask and receive. Move in accordance to my faith. But never, as I heard somebody say a long time ago, never let the grass grow under your feet. Move. If God says move, you move. If he says stay, you plant right there. And you work that thing until he reassigns you. But you got to stop listening to these naysayers out there. Because like I said before, not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to agree with you. But you're going to have to get to a point today and say, I will, because he is. Bottom line. I will be successful in whatever it is you are pursuing in your life. Don't wait for another person to confirm that thing. Don't wait for another person to come in agreement with you on that thing. You come into agreement with it, and then let God put his super on the natural of it and watch it happen. Stop concentrating so much time and energy on the opinions of other people when it comes to you. Hey, Blue, welcome in. You have to outgrow the opinions of other people. But first, it begins with you. Stop making those excuses your crutch. Your leg is healed now. Your heart is healed now. It's time to walk. You're off of baby food. You have a full set of teeth. And if you don't have them in your mouth, you can go buy some. I know a whole lot of people don't have not one single tooth in their mouth, but can tear up some food. Their lack of actual teeth does not stop them from eating. So what's your excuse? You don't have any. So stop looking for some. Get up off your tail and do what you need to do for you. Because nobody in this world is going to be able to take care of you better than you can take care of yourself. Stop waiting for a spouse to support you. Stop waiting for family and them to come and support your business. Buy your book, buy your t-shirt. You know they have y'all have a family reunion every year. They go to somebody else that are coming to you. Wipe that off. It's all right. They know you do shirts. They know you make custom items. Whatever your custom items are, they don't come to you. That's fine. But it doesn't mean you stop doing what God created you to do. It just means you just can't do it with them. And just like Jesus, when he went back to his hometown, he had been blessing people all over the place, healing people all over the place. But when he got home, he couldn't even do what he was created to do because of those people there. But did it stop him from doing whatever God had called him to do? No. And just like Jesus, we have to learn the lesson. There are some people you can do stuff with, and there are some people you cannot. And you're going to have to learn to be okay with that. But it does not change your assignment. It does not change the plan that God has for you. So neither should your excuses cause you to be your own worst enemy. If you got 50 people around you telling you, you got this, and just pouring encouraging words into you, and you still go home at night and say, woe is me, I'm going to need you to talk to yourself. Because God can send 1,000 people around you to encourage you. But if you're still negative to yourself, that's a problem. You need to go to the Father and let him heal that, whatever that is. Because it's clearly time for you to deal with that thing head on. Stop making it the center part of your story. It's a part of your story. It's a part of your life. It happened. But it should never be the center. God should be the center. Learn the lesson. Whatever it is. Learn the lesson or you will repeat it. Ask me how I know. You will repeat it. Learn the lesson. But never allow whatever has happened to you stop you from pursuing your future. Period. You are more valuable to the people around you than you will ever know. The ones that matter anyway. Than you will ever know. Even when you feel like you're alone, you're down in the dumps, you're broke, busted, and disgusted. Know that you have a God that loves you, that cares for you, that have a huge plan for you that he has. He just needs you to get up. So I'm encouraging you, get up. No time for games. Game time is over. Some of you right now are like a football player. And I don't know how many of you watch football. If you've ever seen a game where the player has the ball, they are running down the field. There is nobody there to tackle them. They got a clear shot to the end zone. They get so excited that right on the 1 yard line, they drop the ball because they thought they were in the end zone. The team is mad. The fans are mad. They mad at themselves because they didn't complete the mission. They dropped the ball. Many of you are right there, right on the cusp of your next level, of your next breakthrough, of a prayer request that you have put before God for, in some cases, for years. You are right there. He is like this, and he's about to open up the window. He's like right there, and you drop the ball. How do you drop the ball? Because instead of leaning into the words of the great I am, you start leaning into what has happened to you. And instead of it thrusting you forward, it's pushing you back. Then the fears start to set in. Then the more excuses start to set in. And you start getting pushed back, not at the hands of anybody else. Nobody else is throwing your past up to you. You're doing that. Every negative thought now starts to push you back, push you back, push you back. We got to stop this. We all have to stop this behavior. Your time is now, right now, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. But one thing I do know is that your future is going to be way brighter than your past if you position yourself for it right now and stop making excuses. But you'll never get there as long as you keep making your excuses a crutch for you. Unicorn Lady Tech doesn't have to say anything negative about you. You already got that covered. Deborah Garrett doesn't have to say anything negative about you. You already got that covered. Switch the scene. Turn the page in your story and see what God has on that other side. I know it's crazy right now. I know it's tough right now. But I know, based on my experience, that in order to get the reward, sometimes you're going to have to be cut. Let me tell you something. Everybody in here that's ever been pregnant, let's use that for an example. When you first found out you were pregnant, everybody had a different reaction. Okay? And as that baby grows inside of that woman, she goes through the different roller coasters of that pregnancy. So I've seen some women completely elated for all the 9 months. And I've seen some women just miserable from day one to the last day. Just, okay. I've seen different levels of this thing with pregnancy. Every pregnancy is different. All right. But here is one thing that's for certain. You're going to get to a place in that pregnancy where that baby has to come out of there one way or the other. That baby gonna have to make an entrance into this world, whether you're ready for it or not. That baby's coming out of you some kind of way. You can't be so afraid to give birth that you just say, I'm not doing it. Really? That's not how that works. You can't sit there and say, I'm not having it. It's not coming out of who? This baby been growing inside of you for 9 months. It is time for its exit. And all of a sudden you go say, nope, I'm not gonna do it. Well, what do you think the next thing is going to be? If your body is unable to deliver that baby, and sometimes during the delivery, your body has stretched wherever it needed to stretch. It has reached maximum stretch capacity. This baby is crying. It is time to go. It is go time. And some women get to that point and say, I'm tired. I can't do it. It's too painful. I can't. And the doctor's like, push. The nurse is like, come on, you can do this. But there may come a time throughout that delivery where the doctor has to grab that scalpel. And some of y'all may know about this. I thank God I ain't had that experience. Thank you, Jesus. But some of y'all may have. Well, he has to grab that scalpel and he has to make an incision. Sometimes it may be below, or it may get to a point where that baby's like not coming out of that way and he gonna have to take you to surgery. You gotta have a C-section. But some kind of way you're gonna have to be cut. You want that baby, but you don't want to be cut to get that baby out. And sometimes as you're going throughout your life, some things are gonna cut you. Some things are gonna be like a little flesh wound. Some things are gonna be real deep where you're gonna have to get some stitches. You may have to have some physical therapy. You may have to get like Miss Shirley when she had a knee replacement. She had to be cut in order to get that new knee. She wanted to be able to walk better, but she had to be cut to get there. You have to be prepared for the cut. Some things in life are not going to be easy. It may look easy at first. Like when you first, when you're in the act before the baby is there. You know what I'm saying? Read between the lines. That's the fun part. But you don't think about it until you go and labor the other side of that thing. You may have to be cut. But when you get the reward after the cutting and that baby is in your arms and it's all said and done and it's all over, you're like, whew, thank you, Jesus, over. It doesn't erase the fact that you had to be cut to get that baby here. It doesn't erase the fact that you had to go through some painful time to get that baby here. You just see what? That beautiful baby. You see the reward. But are you going to go throughout that child's life saying, you know, I was cut for you. You know, they cut me from here to here. Do you know I still have issues because I was cut for you? And you just start going throughout this whole child's life. Or are you going to say, thank you, God, that I have a healthy baby girl, baby boy. God, thank you for my baby. I thank you for my children. Or are you going to continue to let that cut be your excuse? The reward is worth it if you put down your excuses. But you can't allow those excuses to continue to be the center of you. They can't continue to be the center of your story. They can't make you, and they certainly can't break you. It's not over until God says so. Whatever he has for you, he has for you. Everybody else in here could have all kinds of stuff. They could have the same thing, same car, same clothes, same this, same that, but they're not you. You have something secret in your sauce. But you got to stop making these excuses. Okay, Bayou says, listen, my mom used to tell me the story about how my brothers and I were born. And my oldest brother was an over 9-pound baby. And my mom was smaller than me. And she's like, my mom and my oldest daughter like the same size. And mom, maybe just a little bit, maybe a couple inches taller than her, but they both small. And my mom had to be cut down there. And I was like, ouch, my Lord. I didn't get cut there. I got cut the other way. Because my kids were like, yeah, we're not messing up our head. So we're not coming out the way we were put in. So they gonna have to come get us. So my kids were like determined, like, y'all gonna have to come get us, okay? So, but my goodness, Bayou. Whew. Let's see. Umbaya says, my oldest, I've heard some stories from women that almost had me scared to have kids. I was like, But I thank God y'all are healed and y'all are good. Woo, my goodness. Thank you, Lisa. I give God all the praise. Thank you so much. Yes, a big fat healthy big head boy. Listen. Sorry that happened to you. Oh, okay, she's talking about you. But yeah, just know that sometimes in life you're going to have to go through some tests and trials. But those tests and trials should never be the center of you. They should never be a reason why you don't go forward. You don't take the next step and you quit before you're in the end zone. You quit before God says it's quitting time. You quit before you've been reassigned or moved. You quit before your season of that thing is up. Keep pushing. You got this. Even if God sends you a person that gets on your absolute last nerve, if it's sent from God, he will work it out. But don't miss your blessing for any reason. Because it could be that next step up to your next level. I told y'all last week, I had been praying for something for 17 years. And it wasn't until I fully had to surrender to God did he finally say, okay, now you're ready. And I'm saying, well, God, you could have just told me that's all I had to do. You had me go through this for 17 years? Well, not me, but the person. But 17 years? Really? But he's a gracious God. He allows us to make our own decisions. And you may not know this, but somebody else's breakthrough may be tied to you. You doing what you need to do. That's what it was in this case. This person did absolutely nothing to go through what they're going through, but it wasn't until I put my full faith in God. And I started to, Gina, listen to me. I hope you're still in here. I started to switch content. I was just like you. I was told to not talk about God on my channel. I was told to keep it strictly business. Never make it personal. Do this and do that. And every time I tried, I would feel like a punch in the pit of my stomach, because I know what I was hearing. I know what I was feeling. I know what my spirit was saying. I know what the Holy Spirit was saying. And I kept fighting against what I knew God was telling me to do. And so I had to yield and do what God told me to do. And so that may be you. That may be you. So any questions, any comments anybody has, I'm going to check the chat. My daughter is preparing dinner. She's asking me a question here. So let me look here. Let me check the chat. Okay, y'all are talking to each other. Hello, Psalm. Psalm says, whoever said that, tell them you're about our Father's business. You better believe that. You know I did. I'm like, you can come and engage, or you can not. That's fine. I'm still going to do what I'm called to do. So let me see what else y'all say. So I thank you for being here, Unicorn Lady Tech. Thank you for being here. Everybody's speaking. Let me see if there's anything I missed. Let's see. Oh, well, happy belated birthday, Unicorn Lady Tech, to your first grandbaby. Nice. Congratulations. Congratulations to you. Another member of another generation. That is a blessing. You better say that, Unicorn Lady Tech. She says, after you learn the lesson, stay away from the negative folks. Amen. Amen. Because some of them, I don't know if it's you or them, but some people will become familiar to you, that they'll abuse you, they will drag you, they will constantly make you the ugly freak. And you will get so tied up in them, you try to break away from them, and next thing you know, you're going right back. God let something else happen, you break away from them, and next thing you know, you're going right back. Get out the yo-yo. Get out of the rubber band. Please get that negativity out of your life. Enjoy your day, Mr. Bammy. Thank you for being here. Yes, and Jesus is being used for his glory. Absolutely, Astatine 85. Everyone has shortcomings. Yeah, you better believe it. Don't let these cameras fool you. Don't let a person's whatever demeanor or representative, I call them, the fakeness of being behind a camera fool you. Everyone goes through something. Some may feel like they're going through more than others, and that may be the case, but everyone's going through something. Something's big, something small, but nobody escapes this life without going through something. But it's our job to learn the lesson from those things and keep it pushing. And so, Lord have mercy, this child. You know how your children, speaking of kids, no matter how old they become, I am learning, they still need mama. I'm like, huh? Keep texting me. But yeah, they still need mama. And I thank God for them. She's still going. She's fine. Stop texting me. I put her in charge of dinner, and she keeps asking me question after question after question. I love my baby though. That is y'all's very own assassin on site. She just got off work, so she's asking me what I want. Okay, so you better believe it. I said that earlier, Queen. A mother's work is never done. Never done. 10, Bayou Sugar says, 10, I'm so glad you are resilient and fierce. Please keep lifting. Hey, I was created that way. I have been shunned, talked about, lied on, everything in between, just like many of you have, all because I was being me. You know, you're too loud, you're too rough, you're too tough, you need to be this, you need to do this. And I was like, if I do all of that, then I'm no longer me. I'm becoming whoever you want me to be. I would rather just be who God created me to be. Because when God deals with this hard-headed person here, because I can be very stubborn on certain things. I'm like, no, my no is no. My no is no. Okay. And I am learning to be a little bit less to throw no first. Listen to all the other options, weigh the options, and then make a decision. And if it's still no, then it's no. So, you know, my kids and my husband have really taught me that. But before that, my no was no. I didn't care what you said. My no was no, period. I didn't put a comma where, I didn't put a comma nowhere. I always had a straight period. And so I am learning. You know, age has its privileges. Thank you. Miss Joyce says, thank you so very much for speaking the truth within my soul, but to move to better and greater. Yes, God has, Miss Joy. I thank you for, you know, I believe God used you today, because I was talking, like you said, off topic. Like, we're supposed to be talking about excuses. Come on, Tia, come on back. And as soon as I locked in and truly tuned my ear, the whole conversation changed. And I thank you, Miss Joy. I thank you for being here. I thank you for that. So, listen, I will tell her by you, her work schedule, you know, she's got that regular 9 to 5 now. And so Monday through Friday, you know, she's at work. And so we get a chance to kind of hang out. Well, of course, when she gets off, but we only have free time on Saturday and Sunday. And usually she had to try to spend with her little online friends. And so they playing games and do all that. She don't have time for her mama like she used to, y'all. You know, I have to go in there and, you know, use a sob story and be like, you know, we used to make skits together. She'd be like, oh, Mom, stop. Come on, really? And then she'll give it for like 5 seconds. As soon as I stop and I start doing something around, she go, I'm like, what the? It happens, but yeah. Soon. You know how they get. When they get grown, they make friends online or friends other places. Child, they ain't got time for their mama no more. Until they need some. Like now. So, oh, she probably stopped texting me. So yeah. So that's just kind of how, you know, we're going to see Assassin those sites, whatever Assassin those sites, you know, stop, put her friends before her mama. So yeah. But I am still blessed to see her every single day, except for when she's at work. So she is well. And so y'all continue to pray for her, continue to pray for my other baby girl. Yeah, God is just good. He is just making so many changes over here. And y'all pray for me, because I am trying to not be so set in my ways and allow my husband to upgrade certain things around here and different things. And it's not easy. It's not easy, but I'm going to listen to him. And there is one upgrade he's like considering, trying to convince me to take, and really, I'm trying to research it. I'm hoping that I don't have to do that, but God is in control, and we'll see. I will definitely let you guys know. But if y'all have any questions, anything that I can help you with, you know, you can always reach out to me on my website, which is www.theeducatednatural.com. If you want some collective time with like a mastermind, please consider joining the membership. There are 3 tiers to the membership. And if you want to be a part of the live discussions that we have every month, these are live. I come on live, we talk, we go through some things, we figure out some things. I do, if they need to learn how to use a particular platform, I share my screen, we go through it, blah, blah, blah. If you want to know how to do that, I saw someone, I was in some chat recently, I can't remember who it was. Anyway, the person wanted to know how to fix the latency in a video. And like these are the type of things that I show my members how to do. This is where your latency is on your channel, blah, blah. That's how you do that. Make sure you have this checked, uncheck that. And like, for instance, G Mama, I know she was doing a lot of different things on her phone, and now she has her computer. So now she's learning how to do things on her computer, which is like 2 different things to do. And I am more proficient on computer. Only time I use my phone is a text. I'm a texter. I don't even really use it to call. I really call too many people, but I'm a huge texter, or, you know, on YouTube or something like that. But I don't really use my phone to live stream. Well, actually, I don't use my phone live stream. Probably like the whole time I've had my channel, maybe 3 times I live stream my phone, maybe. But I'm usually a computer person when it comes to live streaming, and that's why it's so important to me to have these things. Hey, Rooster, what's going on? How you doing? I need to talk to you too. I got some questions, some computer questions. So look for an inbox from me about that. And so I'm glad you're here. So Big Rooster says those children still love us, Tim, but their friends are way cooler, or so they think. I know, right? Their friends ain't cooler than us. They're not cooler than us. And so yeah, so she's at that age, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Because I don't want to put her all the way out there. She must come flying and she's like, Ma! But she's still my baby, and I'm still and will always be very protective. I don't play about my kids. So, you know, I always got that watchful eye, but I understand sometimes you gotta, just a parent, you gotta back up and say, I know I want you to come do this with me, but you are grown, and so I'm gonna let you go out there and have your little friends. But, you know, at some point we're gonna have to start getting back in the studio, Missy. So, but she's a gamer, so she has her own YouTube channel, and she's on Twitch a lot. So if y'all ever, she's on Twitch over there, and Twitch is not I'm not a gamer, so I'm only on Twitch just to go in there and say hey to her and see who's in there, and I'm out within about 5 minutes. But yeah, she's on Twitch a lot. So that's where her place is. And I'm on YouTube. So she's not really with too much talking. She likes to play game and then go through the commentary. Big Rooster, you play games. Y'all know how y'all be doing. But I am the only non-gamer in this entire house. My baby girl, my husband, they all are gamers. And I am just over there like, I can't play these games because I will be shooting and crushing everything that moves, even include my own teammates. And if there is no way for me to identify the teammate, everybody's gonna be mad at me. And so I said, you know what? Let me just leave the gaming to them, because I be watching her play sometime, and I'm like, how do you know who's your team? Everybody be fussing at me. So that's I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna stick to Pac-Man. Pac-Man and stuff that used to be on the Atari. I'm going way back there. These new games and all these buttons, there will be nobody else left in the game, because I be done just off everybody in there. Dolores says, come on, come on, Tim, let's get you gaming. Listen. Listen, I have had games on my phone. There was a game that I put my husband and my daughter on years ago. That's how long this is away. This is a long time ago, y'all. And I think the game was called Tiki Totem. And I had found that game on my phone, and I was playing it, and I told them about it, and they beat the game. I'm still on probably like level 2 or 3 or something. They done beat the game. I was like, I got frustrated with the game because I couldn't win, and I couldn't figure out where I was going wrong, and I got mad, and I took the game off my phone, and I realized my patience, no. That's why I like spades and dominoes and stuff like that. No, because I think maybe it's my competitive nature in certain things. I don't like to lose. So when I couldn't figure that out, like even Super Mario Kart, I'm not Super Mario. I like Super Mario Kart, but the original Mario, I could never play that game. I got too frustrated. He started falling off stuff, and I was supposed to be I got mad. So I'm gonna stick to the basic games like Pac-Man. I got mad. I'm ready to throw something. I'm mad. I'm in there talking junk. I'm in there yelling for no reason. I'm like, you know what? I gotta find something in my level. I'm gonna stick to solitaire. I'm gonna stick to checkers or chess or something. The shooting, even though I love action games, but I'm telling you, I've watched Big Rooster play the games, and I will be then just off everybody and everything. And I've heard people fussing and at other people, why you do this to me? And I was like, I've watched mistakes happen in games, and people say that stuff serious. To me, I'm like, it's just a game, relax. And people take that stuff way too serious. And I was like, I don't need that in my life. So I got to find a game that's more my speed. Solitaire. Or more that mahjong. Yeah, I'm gonna see the stuff like that, because I don't know. I just watch her play, and this is a lot. Dolores says, I game too much. I need to record it. I be so into it, I forget. You should. I just got off the intense game of zombies right now. Is it that serious? For real? For some people it is. To me, I'm like, it's just a game. Chill out. My bad. My mistake. I didn't mean to, off you in this game. People in there fussing. I'm like, oh my goodness. Don't be saying that to me. Now I forgot I'm playing the game. Now I'm fussing. So see. Bayou Sugar says, I fell off games after Nintendo. I tried computer games back when we had dial-up internet. I have tried games, and I like my favorite, outside of Pac-Man, my second favorite game was Tekken. And I had all the moves, but I was competitive in that game. And I realized during that time that I need to find something else because I am just too involved. I get too, stuff just be happening. And I mess around and start acting like Kim from the block or something. I be just saying some words don't need to be said because I done got caught up in this game. And I was like, until I learn how to control that, I need to stay away from stuff like that. It's not just a game. It's real. I see, you're a gamer. You will say it's not just the game, it's serious. But to me, I'm like, it's just the game. We just play around until I get really involved and get caught up in the game. And then somebody then off me in the game. And now I got to go fire you. Because see, I done forgot the mission because now I'm looking for you. It's just to get you back. I got to get my lick back. See, this is why people like me should be playing games. I get too involved. I take stuff to another. I should just leave this to y'all. Not Kim from the plot. Yes. I just need to just stay over here and play bingo. I'm going to go to the bingo. Where the bingo games? I'm going to go to the bingo. I need to leave the action games alone because I know me. I would get so involved and y'all would be like, Big Rooster already messed with me about a typo mistake I made in the chat one time in his live. He would really come on here and tell y'all about me then. Because he'd be like, Kim said, and Kim did that. Y'all ain't gonna believe what Ted did. Y'all ain't gonna believe it. Ted said, I heard her. Oh, see, we don't need to do that. We don't even need to do that because it's probably gonna come out of nowhere. I'm like, this game done pulled me somewhere I don't need to be. And so I am working on it. I would love to be able to interact with games with my daughter and with some of you. But I'm just telling you, I am so afraid because I am competitive like that. And I'll be, I'm just going to be honest with myself. I need to know my limit because I got to get you back. You just did off me. Who is it? What was that? My daughter would be like, Mom, I'm like, who just took me out? Did you see who it was? No, Mom. Okay. I'm shooting everybody. One of them was bound to be the one that got me. So yeah, I don't need to be playing with games. I don't. Hey, Donzel, welcome in. You too, Queen. You have a restful evening as well. Shalom. So, y'all, I'm going to get on up out of here. I thank God for each and every one of you for being here with me today. I hope something that God has allowed me to say today has caused you to stop making excuses. Please, you deserve better. You deserve more. And God has that for you. So stop allowing your excuses, the one you make for yourself, stop allowing those things to keep you from your next breakthrough, keeping you from your next blessing. Whatever you want. That song just came in my head just that fast. Wow. Whatever you want, God has it. And he is waiting to give it to you. That is a song. Whatever you need, God has it, and he is waiting to give it to you. So thank you, Yankee Sister, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Just know what God has for you, like I started this live stream, it is for you. Claim it. Name it and claim it. It's yours. And when you look back over your life and you look at your past, and it seems like your past wants to creep into your now, put up the stop sign. Grasp that thought, whatever that thought is, whatever that memory is, grasp that thing and put it back where it belongs. Those things you can't take into your future. Your future is bright. And you can't take that dim thing with you. It happened. You made it through. You made it over. You made it out. Now it's time for you to enter in your next level that God has for you. That's what he wants you to know. He has something for you. Check your mail. And you can check your mail by putting down those excuses. Go check your mail. Your divine mail from him. Not your P.O. box by USPS and FedEx and all the other folks, UPS. Your divine mail. He has something for you. And he's waiting to give it to you. So go get your stuff. I love each and every one of you. If you ever need to contact me, I'm on all social media platforms, The Educated Natural. You see right there on your screen. Also, my website is www.theeducatednatural.com. If you would like to join the membership here on this channel and you would love to have live streams with me and the rest of the members, join level 2, which is the artisan level, which is $5.99 a month. It's not much at all. And you get a chance to hang out with us. I do a live once a month with my artisans. If you want a more in-depth look into things, you need more of a hands-on things, you know the how of things, join level 3. And I meet with them twice a month. And they get some extra perks as well. So I look forward to connecting with each of you in another live. Thank y'all for being here. There you go, Bayou. She said in my Twinkie voice, it's yours for the asking. Yes, indeed. It's yours. It's your blessing. Whatever you need from the Lord. Absolutely. It is yours. Thank y'all for being here. Father, we thank you for this time you have allowed us to have. And as we prepare ourselves to leave this place and never your presence, it is my prayer, O Lord, that you look over your people. Meet every need. Whatever the ask is, you said that all we have to do is ask and we will receive. And so, God, we're bringing every concern to your throne in this very moment. We thank you for the things you have done. We thank you for the things that you will do. Father, continue to draw us nigh unto you. And Father, if we are one that's making excuses that are keeping us away from the plans you have written in our story, Father God, first bring it to our attention. Then, Father, give us the strength and the wisdom to know how to move forward past those things. Father, if the excuses are built upon hurts from our past, heal us right now in the mighty name of Jesus. Father God, clear our vision so that we can see. Some people may feel like they are lost and alone, God. Speak now, Father. Wrap them in your ever-loving arms and let them know you have never left them, nor will you ever leave them, and you will never forsake them, for they are yours and you care for your children. For those that may be going through some level of hurt, be it grief-based, be it physical-based, Father God, it is our prayer right now that you reach down from heaven and heal whatever is ailing your people in the name of Jesus. Father, whatever it is in your will for each and every one of our lives, we ask, God, that you continue to turn us into the direction you want us to go so that we can realign ourselves with you. And finally, oh God, break the shackles that may be on our hands, on our feet, on our minds, anywhere on our bodies, so that we can finally walk in our full authority and power. This is our prayer, oh God. Look after your people and remind them that there is no valley that they can find themselves in that you are not able to reach them, that you have the power and the authority to reach down from heaven and pull them out of no matter what place they may find themselves into. For those that may feel like they are unloved, Father God, wrap them in your arms and tell them that you have loved them even before the formation of this earth, and you will continue to do so. That you love them. Remind them of that, oh God. Wipe the tears from their eyes and let them know that even if they look around and there is no one physically that they can identify that's standing there, that you are there, oh God, that you love them. And there is no hurt on this earth that they can go through that their Father in heaven is not able to heal. So, Father God, continue to protect your people. Continue to lead and guide your people as they go throughout the rest of their day and this week. Continue to wrap them, oh God, in your loving arms, and let them know they will always have a safe place to rest their head if they need to. Strengthen your people, oh God. Give them wisdom, oh God. Give them vision, oh God, so that they can see where they need to go and they will know what the next decision is that they need to make. It is in Jesus' name that we seal this prayer. Amen. Thank each and every one of you for being here. I will see you guys next Wednesday, 3:45 p.m. Central, 4:45 p.m. Eastern. I look forward to seeing you all somewhere in one of these chats around here. Until the next time God allows us to meet, everyone be blessed. Thank y'all for being here.